Welcome to Chinese Radical Lesson 11. This is Crazy 老师. Mastering the Chinese radicals will help you decipher the Chinese characters and help you read Chinese more efficiently. Each lesson is built upon the previous lesson. If this is the first time you see radical lessons, please jump back to the previous lessons. All right, let's start with review. In lesson 10, we have learned the radical 虫, a bug, insects, and the yi, which represents the city, and mu, which represents your eyes, and dao, which represents knife. Okay, so with these, use the knowledge of the radical as a clue and guess the meaning of the words. Okay, so you can match them. You can pause because now I'm going to tell you the answer okay, so the first one, we have the 虫, as we said, which means bugs. So all the insects or insect-looking animals will have the radical 虫. So look at the picture, D, okay? Matches our profile. Dragonfly, 蜻蜓, a dragonfly. Okay, R, as we said, we have the E, okay? E, so it's related to city, right? So look at the picture again. This one, it's C. So C, anyone knows where this is? This is Beijing, the capital city of China. Okay, so 首都, capital city of a country. 首都，你国家的首都在哪里？好，然后三，我们看到这里有一个刀，okay, so that's the 刀 radical. So we know it's related to knife or cutting things or sharp, okay, things like that. So in this case, we're going to choose A. So this character is 剁, okay, and it is to, well, how do you do this? Like chop, okay, this action, we use a knife, okay, that's 剁. And number 4, we have the radical 目, which is your eyes, okay? So in this case, actually, it's eyes, 眼睛, 眼睛, so match with B, okay? How many did you get correct? If you feel them unfamiliar, feel free to go back to lesson 10 and do a review. Okay, so today in lesson 11, we're going to learn 3 more new radicals. The first one is 棉. 棉 means house. Okay, so now you already learned the character 家 probably, right? 家, which is house or home. So it has the 棉 radical on top. Okay, so 棉 radical. And then we have 和, which means grain. And then the last one is 马, horse. So we are going to learn about these 3 radicals from their radical form, how they look like many years ago, and how do we call them. I'll show you examples of characters and words with these radicals and some idioms to remember those radicals, okay? So the first one is 棉, 棉. So as I said, 棉 means house, right? So this character will appear with words that's of course related to house or living, okay? Now let's take a look at the Asian form of 棉. So what does it look like to you? Okay, it looks like a little house, right? A little hut. So that's what it was. And then the radical form, as you see, is the same as what's showing here. Okay, and how people usually address it is 宝盖头宝盖头宝盖头. And the examples here we have 家人家人. So family, or here is more like your family members, okay, the people in your house 家人。第二个是办公室，办公室look at the 室 okay, you have the 宝盖头 on top so 室 means what? It means a room, okay, so a room to do public or to do work, okay, so this is your office, 办公室. Now similarly we have 卧室，卧室 a room where you lie down. So that's a bedroom. And the last one is 平安平安. Now let's take a look at the 安 安. Now you will know 安 has the 棉, okay, house on top. And in the house you have what? Okay, 女, a female. Okay, so if you have a woman in the house, then you can feel safe and sound. Okay, so this is 平安平安. And the idioms for 棉 actually, you know, we don't really use 棉, right? So I'm just pick up an idiom for 家. Okay, so we have 小家子气，小家子气。小家子气 here is the literal translation. Okay, we have little home spirit, little home spirit. And it can be translated as narrow-minded. Well, you know, if you're coming from a small house, okay, you may get nervous in a lot of the situations, right? And then people will say you 你小家子气 okay, 小家子气 all right, okay, now we're gonna move on to the next one is 和 grain, okay. Now look at the Asian form. You know, a lot of my students from the US would say this look like corn. So 和 is well, it's the not exactly the rice plant, okay, but it's one of those green plants. So and then the 和, how do we call them? We'll call it 和字旁 because it's usually on the side, okay, left side, usually on the left side, usually. But of course, there are always exceptions. And the first example is 秋天, 秋天, okay? 秋天 is autumn. And if you know about farming, 秋天 is also the time for harvest, right? So if you take a look at the character 秋, autumn, you'll have the grain on the left side and fire on the right side. So that is because this is the season to harvest your grains, and also you're gonna see the colors like fires, right? Or the red, the yellow, the orange. So this makes it autumn. 秋天. This second example is 秧苗 秧苗. So this is well, originally is young grain plants, young grain grain. Nowadays it can mean just any like young plants. Okay, 好. And the next one is 香香 is aroma or aromatic. Okay, so if you smell some food, it's a 好香 so that's 香. Okay, now how come it become to describe, you know, good smells of food? So this is actually starting from to describe the smell of cooked rice, for example, or cooked grains, right? You can smell like, oh, 好香 Okay, so that's the 香 香. And the last one is a little bit abstract. Okay, so this one is 自私 selfish. So here the 私 actually means private. You can think it as, oh, this is my rice. This is my field. Okay, 好. So when it's your own property, it becomes selfish. Okay. 好. And the idiom we have for 是, do we have any? Wait, we don't have any. What happened? Okay, I think there's just no idiom related to her that I know of, at least no common ones. Okay, so no example, no idioms for her. If you know one, feel free to share it in the comment. Okay, the last one is 马, and this is a standing horse. Okay, so you have a horse, picture of a horse. That's how it looked like in old times. Okay. And here is how it looks like as a radical form. And we call it 马字旁. So same as 和, it's usually stand on the left side of a character. Okay, so it will be related to horse. Okay, or certain transportations. Okay, because 马 was used as a transportation in ancient times, right? Okay, so the first example is 骑马. 骑马. So when you ride a horse, 骑马. But nowadays, you don't necessarily ride a horse. You may ride a bike. So that's the same 骑, okay? 骑自行车, 骑车, ride a bike. And the second example, 驾驶员, 驾驶员. How many 马 do you see in this example? And where are they in the character? So in the character 使, it's on the left side, but in 驾, it's at the bottom, okay? So 驾驶员 is a formal way to say a driver. Instead of say 司机, you probably learned that one. On your, for example, driver's license, they're going to use these formal words, okay? 驾驶, 驾驶证, okay? And your driver's license. So 驾驶 is a formal way to say to drive, okay, to drive. And the last one is 骄傲. 骄傲. You may ask me, how is that even related to horse? So if you're a person who knows horse, some horse can be pretty proud, okay? So that's where it comes from. It's 骄傲, the characteristics of a horse, okay? So 骄傲, and nowadays, of course, it just generally means proud, okay? 好, and the idiom we have for 马 is 马上. So you know these two characters. It literally means on horse. However, it's used often in daily life, means at once, immediately. Because in old times, if you want to do things really fast, what do? You get on the horse and, you send the message out. So that's probably the fast way. Okay, so now 马上 just means, okay, right away, got it. Okay, I'm coming. Okay, so 马上. But however, when people do say 马上, don't take it literally. They may say 马上, okay, I'm coming right away. But it may take forever for it to come. Just like when people from Latin America says mañana, tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow will never come. So similarly, a lot of Chinese will abuse this 马上, like 马上. Okay, all right. So this is all for our lesson 11. Let me know if you have any questions. You can visit my website and then you can get all the PDFs for the lesson and the exercises. Now it's showtime. Can you tell me any other examples that has those radicals? I look forward to see you in the next lesson. 再见。